Welcome to the show, Patriots. If you have ever even thought about trying quinoa, I will personally burn down your house and deport your kids. And why are liberals so angry about our glorious sex model president simply separating kids from their legal parents? Have you seen the video that Donald Trump, a man I've made several shrines to, made about these kids? They're all playing soccer and they're happy, and the Latinos are playing soccer and happy because of the video. And if you believe that video is fake, but most other videos are real, get out of here. This basement being filmed on Fruit by the Foot is for real American patriots only, from real America. Shut up, Puerto Rico. Just because you were hit by a hurricane and most of your population doesn't have electricity or clean water doesn't mean you can complain about it. You're not a real place. You're a territory. Our glorious leader has already done enough for you. Puerto Rico is just full of frogs, and all that tap water was mixed in with the ocean water, so all the animals are being turned freaking gay, not just the frogs. It's a full-on pandemic, because the frogs were already gay because of Barack Ghazi Osama. This is an official fact fights warning that no one should travel anywhere that are brown people, because the frogs are there, and they all drank tap water. The liberal governments gave us aid and help to the brown countries. And that half-man boy who helped legalize the gay ethnic frogs is finally leaving the Supreme Court. Fact fights shout! That's how we cheer at fact fights. And by the way, the Supreme Court, which is a secret orgy club being controlled by Russians, but Trump isn't controlled by the Russians, and Vladimir Putin is also a great person because he eats meat! I hate all you liberal, vegetarian, vegan, whatevers. Stop eating grass that's been watered. You really trust water these days? Give me meaty things. I want meat. All real Americans eat meat. Now that the weak California liberal, Republican, and conservative is gone, our glorious, well-endowed supreme leader can pick any real patriot he wants that will bring a knife to cut up the government-funded cloak orgies. Now we can finally get rid of that horrible Roe v. Wade, and we can finally stop the government from time traveling into the future to find conservative leaders and then going back and aborting them by giving subliminal messages to their mothers. Except Donald Trump wouldn't do this because he's the most honest and anti-government patriot ever. All good patriots hate the government. We need more George Washingtons out there and less government officers. If you don't want to have a baby, you shouldn't have had bad sex as an education, except abstinence is the only way until you want to make babies, because Donald Trump wants to make babies, and he's a real American patriot. He wants to make babies so much that he hired someone to make babies, real American babies. He's such a patriot that he wants to make babies with his babies. That's what makes Ivanka so American, because she eats the meat of the meatiest American president and our supreme leader. All hail Donald Trump. All hail Donald Trump. And now, this non-American from America named Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez beat out a liberal hypocrite monster from New York who isn't human because he's from New York and he's a liberal. And now, you have this hyphen lady who thinks she can run for office even though she's faced no struggle and held no office before. She'll never feel the experience of only getting a small loan of $1 million from her parents and not having to fight in Vietnam and then run for president and win the election while losing the popular vote, because the popular vote is meaningless. It just says what people want. But the fake news media doesn't tell you that most Americans aren't real Americans because their great-great-great-grandparents weren't born here. And if their ancestors came to America before that, then they're not real Americans because they're Native Americans, and Native Americans are brown. Buy new Patriot action pills. They make all parts of your body more action-like. And if you don't want to buy these, you're a liberal propaganda machine. You're a fake American state, like California Ghazi, or wherever they don't eat meat. I'm not talking about the fake healthy meat, like that doesn't have all fat. If that meat isn't just a giant hunk of bleeding raw fat, that's not real meat. You're not a liberal because you don't have heart disease. If your arteries aren't as clogged as Chris Christie's bridges, we're going to deport you back to Portlandia, Arabia, or Massachusetts stand, you commie scum. Okay, now we're going to talk with the real Americans who are defending our glorious leaders' honor without a U, because that's how liberal commies write it, okay? We're going to talk with the stay-at-home mom of none from the American town of America, Kansas, America's zip code 1776 exclamation mark. Because if you don't use an exclamation mark, you will face God's wrath, and by God, I mean the meatiest man of all, Donald Trump. Ah! Sorry, stay at home. Mother of none, I've just screamed for 9 hours straight, so we'll talk to you after that. Buy more action pills. Ah!